Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. So. Chat, if anybody is here, can you hear me? I can. Yes. Oh, very nice. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Great. Perfect. Maybe I should create something like a loading screen. Although I have something very similar, I could use it like the other streamers and just like let the stream running for 2 hours and then then start. Okay. Yeah, I think I suppose we wait a few moments to some people maybe drop in. Probably Nightbot is watching right now. Maybe somebody else who is not writing in the chat. But yeah, you can see today's stream is all about Europe and Greenland. It is the 24th of January 2026 and about 8:30 p.m. here in Germany. Yes. I suppose I will stream for about 1 hour, depending on how much content I can fit in today. I had a very busy day, so I couldn't prepare like really something to like write down. So all what I say will be directly from my head, including, yeah, of course, the discussion. So we will divide the stream as always as the last time into parts. One where I like talk a bit, and one where I can explain stuff to chatters, where we can discuss, where we can talk. Yeah. Maybe I can try some clip farming. Maybe I can try to stream a bit more often. Maybe I should try and stream a bit longer. I thought about adding something like a small logo or text like in the corner of my screen, like right about here. And maybe my socials or somewhere like here. And just brighten up the stream maybe a bit, add some other elements. Oh, yes, right. I think it looks nice. I look good. I look as good as I came out of the room. I like the lighting actually. It's very nice. I would need to see it on some other devices to be quite sure how it actually is. Maybe I should think of a program that I can pull off at the beginning of my stream to make it like, I don't know, less awkward, you know? There's a lot of things to upgrade. I could actually write some things down, but I think I will remember them. I just need some time to change something, because right now, although the first half of the school year is almost over, all my teachers decided that their course is the most important now, and gave a lot of homework. I still need to do some other projects. Wait, is my stream generally looks like it's all even, right? Yes, of course it does. Yeah, we need to grow a community. I think we really, 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 really need to grow a community. I thought about, it's crazy, like we have to upload things on all socials, or I have to do it. I don't think I can like really count on my mods. Like I originally planned to like divide the work between me as the streamer and my partner as the editor and main moderator. However, I'm not quite sure if this moderator will come close to my expectations when it comes to like moderating and editing. You can see this in, for example, him not being well in here right now, because he wants to watch a sports game, and he does this regularly. I'm not quite sure if it's really like a good idea to talk about Greenland when there's nobody in chat, you know? We could also like game, but then I would like need to sit here, and it would be a bit awkward. Yeah, I suppose we just wait, you know? We wait for another person to come in. I will also start uploading VODs on another YouTube channel, and then I will begin structuring my streams in a way that will allow me to upload certain clips, certain parts, certain like show elements directly to YouTube with a nice thumbnail. Maybe I can design something that is like standardized, and then I can like insert a picture or something that would fit to the topic of whatever I am uploading. This was a crazy idea. I thought about maybe making edits of myself on social media. I mean, like right now it's just like I'm shouting into the void. I can talk about politics, there's no problem. I can make some funny jokes, depending on politics, which was actually the starting point. So I did normal gaming streams earlier, and then a friend of mine suggested that I should maybe start adding politics as like a huge part of my humor, and so a huge part of what makes my stream enjoyable is like not it's about politics, you know. And I think you can make crazy clips with politics. You can have some fun with politics. Not like in a video game where you are just one in a billion streaming the same game, having the same experiences. You can like try to mix everything up with, I don't know, adding your own personal humor or something in video games. So it's much more difficult. It's easier to be like something like a god gamer and then become a streamer and then like build an audience on this or viewboard or something to become big fast, especially in the gaming world. But in politics, you have your own opinion. It's probably distinct from like every other person. And when you have a good opinion and when you have some good like clues to explain the world, people will follow you, and people will happily follow you. So right now, I think some of the biggest streamers in the world are like purely politics streamers, like Asmongold, Hasanabi, Nick Fuentes. Okay, you of course have people like Aisho Speed who are not politics guys, but okay, they have other advantages and became very famous through clip farming. Unfortunately for us, I don't see a loophole like this, like currently floating around. You know, you can do whatever everybody else is doing, and will try to clip farm on social medias. But I suppose it won't really work. As so many people are doing it, and as long as your clips are not very funny or something like this, it just won't succeed. Maybe you could try to get into contact with other smaller streamers, but it would be difficult. You know, when you play a game, you can just play a game with this person. But in politics, you need to vibe. You know, when he's left wing and I'm right wing, or vice versa, or whatever, we won't connect. Probably would even be bad for my channel as I now have like an enemy. What you could also do is like pull off some crazy shit, some crazy stunts. Maybe in public. Clip farm in public would actually be a very good idea. So, like, I don't know, rage bait people with politics and like do this convince me otherwise formats. I think a few years ago the anti-SJW content was very big, although I would say this is a dead horse. Currently, yeah, you probably have to clip farm, but you have to be very extreme to clip farm in politics, and then you will be put onto Instagram, and Instagram will boost you, and new people will come to your stream. So maybe I should just start saying very, very radical jokes, you know? I'm very, very famous by saying crazy jokes. So people are like, okay, this guy is either on crack or the funniest person in the world. But it's a matter of time, you know? You need some time. I think with enough time you can actually achieve anything. Very true with investing, which I do. I try to invest like the money I have, which is not very much as I'm a student. And yeah, this is my room. I live with my parents. But you know, when you just have, imagine you had enough time to stream every day from 10 p.m. a.m. I mean, sorry, to 10 p.m. So yeah, 10 hours. No, 12 hours actually, and I'm stupid. 8 hours. Every fucking day. Every day. I mean, growing would be a necessity in this case, you know, because you're always there. You can farm literally in every situation. You can farm viewers in any situation. You know, the morning viewers, which they are not super duper much, but enough. The lunch viewers, I don't know, people who watch streamers during lunch. The evening or afternoon viewers. And every day you would get probably new viewers, and when you're there the next day, they haven't moved on. I fear that some of my old viewers have just moved on or forgot me or didn't get the stream change, you know, as long as they don't see me on a page somewhere, they won't hop in my stream. As long as they don't recognize my face, I mean. You probably have to, yeah, this is probably a big problem. If I would have more time to invest into streaming, I would have probably, more success. It's always in life, you just need some time. But you know, when you have a lot of school, you don't have very much time. So I thought maybe I should also start streaming
maybe in the week. So whenever I have time, whenever I have enough time to stream, I should stream actually. I thought this could be a smart idea. In my case, this would probably be like maybe Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as I want to go to the gym on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. However, I'm, as a politics streamer, quite dependent on new stuff happening in the world. I can't just sit around and do nothing and talk with my chat. I mean, I could do it, but I don't think I would have much success. Gaming would be a different kind of story, but I think this would include that I try to play the most, the most played games on Twitch. And as like in Twitch, you either can fight for a big part of a small pool, so you can stream a small game and try to get some viewers there, or can fight for a small part of a big pool. I think maybe for the beginning, actually fighting for the big part of a small pool would be smart. But towards the end, you have to get a slowly growing part of the big pool. And you should probably play games that are in hype. And I don't know, just games that are releasing right now. And be very quick, because I think I did a mistake with playing Hollow Knight 6 song. Although I had quite good success when I tried to stream every day. Although I didn't stream that long, I just streamed the evening. I could actually boost my player accounts quite significantly, which I was very proud of. Although, of course, when you then stop doing this, your account is about to drop. And as it needed to happen, I had like good viewer accounts at 10, 15, maybe 20 viewers. Some talkative people, some quiet people, as always, some new guys. Of course, it was all new guys, some friends. And it was nice, but after my holiday ended and I couldn't stream every day, the numbers dropped off very quick, and with 6 becoming like older, didn't work out so well. I think I streamed on release, I had initial success, and then I streamed it for like literally 2 months every weekend, and my original audience got bored because it was too much, and my old audience, my new audience, like moved on because they saw other streamers in the game in like 40 hours in 1 week. Yeah, they moved on. Okay, right now there's absolutely no motion here. It's sad actually. Although, I mean, okay. I didn't have an initial viewer influx from my friends, as I hope. It is unlucky. I mean, maybe some people will drop by because, although Greenland is not like the most interesting topic in the world, I mean, I could talk about it but I don't think it will do much. Sorry, I got distracted by my phone. Although I have seen streamers like, he's called, I think, Loop Troop, and he literally streams every day, and he has a steadily but slowly growing view count, and he like literally all he does is stream and upload clips. He does nothing else. He streams almost every day, or maybe even every day, and he uploads clips of it on like many platforms. And when he has like success, when he has luck, okay, his clips are not crazy, it's just normal clips, and the energy is maybe a bit dead. He's a bit of this like energetic kids. He's
But he's not very funny, he's not a Jinxie. I think you can't really be like the next Jinxie or the next IShowSpeed or Kaizen because these people already exist. And you can just be yourself, Although, okay, we are now 20 minutes in. The view count hasn't increased, but I suppose nonetheless I should start talking about Greenland because if you didn't get it, this was already news in my last stream, although I didn't talk about it that much, and I thought I didn't really care about it at all, as Greenland is when Trump wants to have it, I thought, let him have it. I don't fucking care. But I've changed my mind a bit. So I think, you got the. I think you got the overall timeline of this event. So of course, on the 3rd of January, Trump did a special military operation in Venezuela, capturing its president Nicolas Maduro. It was really quite astounding, like a combined attack of Air Force and very limited ground troops, like the Delta Force, closely tied to helicopters, and of course bombing. So they bombed the infrastructure that is responsible for air defense, and then they were able to fly some soldiers in and capture Maduro, and I think they bombed the graveyard of Hugo Chavez, or how the socialist leader who ruined the country was called, I don't know. And in America, this was probably although people voted for a non-interventionist politics, must have been very, very cool to see this, to see the skill of the military complex in the US on full display, They needed for the operation the Russians wanted to do in Ukraine. The Russians needed for years, now 5 almost. 5? No, 4. 4 is correct. I'm sorry. I think it started in 2022, right? Yes, must have. They needed 3 hours for this shit. And, great. And I think that it made them a bit greedy, especially Trump and some people around him, leading to I think it was the wife of a high-ranking government official posting a picture of Greenland on social media. I think it was an X colored in the American flag. And of course, some people thought it was like a joke or something that was very serious, but Trump was quite serious about it. I don't know if this was his idea initially, and this is why this person posted it, or it was like the person posted it and got Trump this idea because it got attention. But Trump said, he wants to have Greenland. The Americans already have a military basis on it, which made it for many people on the outside a bit unnecessary, but he wanted to have it. And because the EU didn't want to, and Denmark of course, didn't want to give Greenland to Trump, just give it up. Although Trump wanted to buy it or something. He also made some pressure with his military complex. Trump became a bit angry, and so at the beginning of the last week, he threatened to impose some hefty tariffs on the EU, which would have heavily endangered the NATO, as it would have led to a full-scale trade conflict between the two factions, although
yeah, this would have gotten very, very ugly, especially for the Europeans, as we Europeans are unfortunately quite dependent on the US in every shape or form, especially the military shape. And the breaking of the NATO would have had unforeseen consequences. And so the EU threatened to use counter-terrorists. And the NATO official Mark Rutte had a private meeting with Trump while he was probably pressured from the inside too, which then led him to, shortly after having the meeting with Rutte, explaining that there was now a framework for a special deal which would be played out in Greenland, and just like ended it, no terrorists. Yeah, we don't quite know what the deal is, unfortunately. And I think, unfortunately, too, we just got baited into this because we have entered a new stage of politics. This is, I think, clear to every person. This is not quite the rule-based order we know or we knew, if it even existed in the first place, because of course the rules are dependent on the most important player in the system, which was always the US. And I think when you go back in time, like literally anywhere, although people would say it was a rule-based system, I would heavily disagree. Because yeah, the US just made their rules and tried not to break them that blatantly, so that people would still think that the rule-based system would be intact. And well, now Trump has come to the correct conclusion that this rule-based system is entirely dependent on him and his power, and he can literally do anything he wants, and he won't have any consequences, or like very minor consequences, I would say. So of course he would maybe lose some economic power, lose some partners, but in the end, as long as it satisfies his voter base, his voters, it is completely fine for him. Which is quite problematic for people who are dependent, or states who are dependent on the US, because they didn't do shit in the last 70 years. So I think it is quite clear to say that the EU and its liberal democracy and its model of liberal democracy has failed astoundingly, I would say, because of course I like to measure things based on outcomes, and the best measurement, well, to measure a system is to see how long the system is able to exist. And when you go back in time, you will see that the whole EU, also the US and other systems, don't meet or haven't met the replacement amount of children you need to keep a society running since about the 1970s. And instead, we now have a very large chunk, which is just like old population, which is pandered to by the politics, as of course it's the biggest part, and you can satisfy their needs very easily. They will vote for your party depending on what you promise them, and you can just like you don't really need to care about the youth. You can just send them off into war. It doesn't really matter. And as soon as then they are the majority in the country, you can actually start caring about them and pander to them too. So you have this whole downward spiral where the only thing the politicians care about is the old people, and the young people are like dropped off the bus, I would say. And you say fall under the bus, fall under the table. I don't know in English. Yeah, this is like kind of the problem in the Germany, for example, and like many other countries. And the problem is we will just cease to exist within a few generations when it continues to go on like this. What did I want to say? the rule-based system. Yeah, I don't really quite know how we ended up here, but we don't have the power to defend ourselves, which is crazy. We have some economic power, but this doesn't really matter when you get bombed to smithereens. And Trump could just abuse his power over the Europeans, knowing full well that they are dependent on him. And that he could take Greenland if he wanted. So he had this like threatening type of atmosphere, I would say. And he was able to bait an advantage. So he was in a win-win position, I would say, from the start. If he would have gotten Greenland through a deal by buying it, for example, which was his first proposition, he would have probably gone into history, or the history books, for making the US territory way bigger. As of course Trump has a certain like determination to be important. And well, if he wouldn't have gotten Greenland, he would have at least gotten like probably access to the Antarctic Ocean, as well as new places to put his missiles, which is precisely what is happening right now, I suppose at least. With him, well, getting a certain deal, so he can still like he has access on Greenland. He can probably mine some minerals. He can build some bases. He can get the North Arctic, I don't know, the North Pole route without any trouble. So he was in a win-win position from the start, which is, yeah, this is what you get when you have a person who has all the power and can do all the shit what he wants. Actually abuse this power. And we actually got quite some viewers right now. Ooh, very nice. Hi, guys. Yeah, this is actually about it for Greenland, I have to say. You know, this was just in my head. So Greenland, at first I didn't really care. Then I thought, hey, maybe it is good for Europe to have access to the ocean and to like minerals and stuff, and an entire continent that will be accessible in the next 40 years due to a bit of global warming and some ice melting. And well, then I thought about why was Trump so aggressive with Greenland? Because, well, he's quite a blunt person. No arguing that, but he got most of what he actually wanted already before he threatened to do whatever. Well, yeah, he talks a lot about security, and he already got a base on Greenland. And although, of course, having Greenland as a part of a US territory would have enabled him to act much more freely, which he probably now will only able to do in a very limited sense. Yeah, this is like about it about Greenland. I don't know. European politics is quite a bit like uninteresting. I think, of course, I get into it. You know, there are other things going on right now. In other shows, I will talk about it too. There's, for example, a new like idea to like after the Ukraine peace agreement that the EU and the US want to dump $800 billion or euros or whatever currencies into Ukraine, and then like attract investors and stuff and growth. Yeah. Okay, there's not much going on. I think another person was shot by ICE in Minneapolis. A person armed with a handgun. I don't know. He didn't disarm. He got shot, and now Tim Walz, who's a traitor to the cause and to his country and to his people, is bitching on X or something like this. I don't know. I just think that US politics is for some reason much more interesting than EU politics, because EU is a bit gay
and weak, and US is not very gay, or like only half gay and strong, and has some funny people like Donald Trump and some other great guys. You don't really get this in Europe. This is a big problem. I think when I think of a typical European politician, it's an empty husk without any meaning, without any like goal. His only goal is to stay in power, keep his privileged position. For example, in Germany, I suppose it's the same in other countries. Politicians, they like raise their income every half a year, which is like already 10K per month, which is crazy because it's like double the amount of a normal household would do in a month. And the only thing they do, they don't really change anything. There's no idea, there's no motion, there's nothing. They got no idea what to do. They don't really know what's going on in the world. The only thing they care about is keeping their position, which is easily achieved by doing virtually nothing, banning people who want to do something in politics, keeping this like monopoly, and don't try to like get negative public attention next to them doing nothing due to, I don't know, being racist or something. So something that is nobody really cares about in the real world, but which is very important in politics and for media outlets and stuff like this. So they're able to keep their positions, they're able to give their money, their nice lobbying things, their nice meals with the other politicians, their nice photos, their free stuff, while doing virtually nothing, not changing anything, and just laying around. Oof, okay, this is about it. This is European politics in a nutshell. We are replacing our own countries. We don't do anything. If you want to do something, you will be pushed out of everything. You will lose a job. Everybody is retarded in politics. Nobody is doing shit. We got 1 billion fucking immigrants. It's horrible, actually. We don't have any real power, which is like in a military sense. We only have economic power, and we are subversived by Jews and stuff like this. It's crazy. Okay, I could end the stream now. This is all I wanted to say for today, but I don't think I want to do it. Maybe I would need to do some elements. I would be like, okay, now is talking stage for me. That is discussions. But now we have like gaming, and I don't know. And I could put this in the top of my screen and be like, okay, guys, today we talk about this and this, and when I'm finished with talking about this and this, okay, now, guys, we still have some time on the clock. We could talk, like, we can discuss, but for discussion, you need to have some people in your chat, which is not the case, unfortunately. Right now, at least. I really needs to build like an infrastructure in social medias and stuff like this. I need to upload stuff. I also thought about maybe uploading like more like general content on YouTube. Like I saw some videos similar to this, but I am much better prepared. I got really like a script which I would just read, put in some sources, some videos, some posts, and then just upload it on my main channel on YouTube. Pick some clips, put it on or put it on Shorts and all the other platforms, Instagram, TikTok. Be happy. Wait till some more people come in, grow. When you have some people, maybe you can try to clip farm a bit more. Maybe someone will upload it on any social media or think that he can get some amount of
personal wealth or gain from uploading clips from you on social media. You know, it's like a growing. Meet some other streamers. Meet some people in real life who will follow you. Be there for your audience. Yeah. I mean, I could start right now. You know, I could start by writing things on my X account and trying to be, I don't know, trying to get into connections with other political streamers who are in my niche, or with other people who are in my niche in general. This would actually be a smart idea, because I could just sit here. I don't have to game, really. I could just sit here on my phone and do this. Yeah. Okay, now we lost our last viewer. Wow, okay. I'm distracted by my smartphone. I just saw today a thumbnail on YouTube from a very famous German critique YouTuber, maybe you could call it, like a YouTuber whose whole job is to upload an essay once a week about a certain topic which interests him right now, and he gets like 1 billion views on it. Because he has good opinions. Yeah, and it was like that a smartphone is the new kind of drug, like a cigarette, and rich people, because the rich people who want to be more successful, they are not distracted by your phone because they don't really use it. Look. But I think, yeah, the controversial stuff is really what would carry the stream in the future. I make this announcement. Probably nobody will see the VODs. Maybe when I'm a bit more famous, some people will start watching old VODs of mine and be like, oh, wait, he talked about this and this and this. And his streams were very shit at first, and he had many ideas, and he never achieved anything of it, and he was a loser. I don't know. Or he was very successful, and you could see his engagement and his energy from the start, and he had many great ideas, and he started with this, and he just had a lot of lights and a room and a cam, and then he started doing stuff with his stream, like adding cool icons in the bottom, and being much more professional. Let's see, what is this? I got some notification. We have a gift sub per hours that expires February. You can hear this, right? Yeah, you can hear this. Turn this off so I can move my mouse quietly. Sometimes I think about how easy other streamers have it, you know? You have to especially girl streamers, for some reason, I'm not quite sure why, male streamers, men in the streaming sphere, there's some cool dudes, you know, no problem. But, you know, most of them are degenerates and have a very obscure character in their own sense, which is what makes them special, you know? They sometimes got very strange opinions, sometimes got a very strange look to them, strange humor, just a crazy mood, something, you know? Being super aggressive, being extremely loud, being extremely childish, you know? And you don't really have this with female streamers, you know. Most female streamers, I would argue many of them look the same. Not very interesting. And you know, I saw one time I saw a person saying this is because people like to watch a woman, look at a woman, and look inside a man, or hear the opinions of a man, you know. When I think people are watching male streamers, they don't watch them because they are so nice looking. There's like, of course, some exceptions, but because they are just interesting characters. And I just got the feeling that when you have female streamers who like have very high sex appeal, let's be clear, not every female streamer, but especially when you go towards the very successful female streamers, all of them play with their sexuality and their, you know, you know exactly what I mean, actually. You know exactly what I mean. All of these female streamers, they know that they are female, they are women, and people like to look at women, especially men, which is probably like the at least majority of the people online on Twitch. And with then they with their crop tops like here, and their makeup and their ponytails and their fuck me glasses. Then you can add some cosplays into the mix, maybe an animal for them, like a dog, and they can clip onto the dog, which is actually a very valid strategy. When you are not a very interesting character, just get yourself an animal and let them appear in your stream. You will certainly create a clip, and then now you have a clip and upload it, and people like watching like nice, cute animals or cool animals in general. In connection with streamers, and you can become very famous. I always think about a certain female streamer. I sometimes, at least a few months ago, when I started streaming and was really into the streaming sphere, and who was there, and she got a dog named P. It was a very small dog, but it was like a cute dog, and she had a bed right next to her, and P would make like funny things, I don't know, and then people would clip from it and put it on social media, and her whole channel, I think she had the name of a dog in the channel name, which is also a bit like tough, when you think about it, because as I said, these are not very interesting persons, probably. And they need this dog, especially when you have such high emphasis on the dog, to be interesting and have a certain amount of success in the streaming sphere. Okay, now I talked about it a lot. I could okay, there's nobody here. Or I could sit here. Collaborations. I could maybe try to explore. I could try and explore Twitch a bit more. Some streaming tools right here. Some stream together, viewer rewards, power up and channel points. This is a cool thing. I like this very much. Where are the rewards? Where are my channel points? Where are my channel points? Community. No. Moderation. No. This is actually crazy. Not a single chat. Some money. How's the money doing? Oh yeah, let me look at my money. Oh, actually not. Some ad revenue. Oh, very nice. Ad revenue is a bit strange on Twitch. Sometimes you have high ad revenue, sometimes you have very, very low ad revenue. I think the revenue system actually don't makes any sense, unfortunately. Subs right here, yeah. 9 cents with ads. It's okay. I take it. Although this is like the only information, and it's very, very late, unfortunately. Yeah, okay, this is like my second stream in a whole while, and I made with the other stream like almost 2 bucks, which is nice. I would take it. Oh, this is like category suggestions. Most recent streams are suggestions. I could play Fallout New Vegas or Fragpunk with an average of 4 channels. 4 viewers per channel. Average channel is about 200, and my browse position would be 18. Although, no, thank you. I played Fragpunk when it came out, actually. Oh, I could play Scum. Okay, this looks interesting, Scum. Like anything with like a high view count. Starcraft X. 42 average viewers per channel. Although they probably should use a median or something, not average. Paladins average 5. Scum average 12. Dark and Darker average 11. Half-Life, oh. Yeah. I don't think you can actually have that much success. Oh, 200, almost 300 channels streaming Resident Evil 7. Crazy. Yo. I think what you really need to become as a streamer is become this sort of attention whore. You know what I mean? Become this person who, well, would do anything for some attention. Except, or not do anything, but be willing to do many things. You know, anything is a bit crazy. Anything would be a lie, but like be aggressive, be outgoing, maybe even do like stuff that other people would highly not recommend, like how is it called, like go into other people's stream and say that you are streaming too. You just need to be more creative than your counterparts, because it's all attention game, you know. I don't think that Twitch has a big influx of new viewers. It's a very like an existing viewer base, and it's not really growing because streaming is not really something, you know. Many people, they want to eat or consume something that is highly polished, and YouTube is the better choice for them. You know, they can watch, or like, of course, short form content, which is also a strength of streaming. You can farm. And of course, as a streamer, you have a much more personal and close connection with the people and your viewers. You know, when I watch a YouTube video, I sometimes think, okay, this is a nice guy, I want to support him. But this is like a personal connection. When somebody would be in my chat and would talk to me, I would talk to him, and he has an instant connection, which would then like help me keep them and maybe even get some money, like ad revenue. Maybe you would even buy a sub. Oof. Loot box. Okay, I want to keep my loot box. Thank you very much. Yeah, maybe I would recommend for Twitch to also change their moderation team and other stuff. Like the last few things I got like as information from Twitch or about Twitch is that everything is very bad. They're even unable to ban people who publicly abuse and mistreat and not. I would say, how was it called? The English word for a person who molested, yeah, molesters, people who molest other persons in public. Like I think it was Nina Lin or something like this. She called. Okay, average of 1 viewer is crazy. Oh, Splitgate, Arena. I mean, it's also, you know, it would just be nice to have a small community, like a small dedicated community. Just go online, you have them, they have fun with them, and then you slowly grow, you know. But okay, this is what we're trying to do here. I thought about maybe for the end of the stream, we could hop into a new game I got. Or I could try and go to bed. Or I could end it. I could end my stream. Of course, well, there's not much to say. I need to ease back into it. Maybe I should try this idea with like just being online much more often, which is like, you know, it's a grind. Streaming is really a grind. I noticed this with the gaming. You just need to be online and like get this one guy this one time and do this, and then try and keep this one guy, and then you do this very, 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 very often. And at a certain point, you have like then 5 people who are constantly in your stream and in your chat. But okay. This was a nice stream. I talked a bit, but I noticed that I could talk to me a lot. Sorry for the one person who just joined. I suppose I will end it right now. We have been online for about an hour. I think it's okay. The last time I also did a stream, which was about an hour long, because we started way earlier and I was a bit like, you know, a bit late. We were a bit late on the timing, but no problem actually. Yeah, Greenland, very interesting. I really need to stick my head into the European politics stuff. I need to really get into this, know about the people, know how they look, know what is going on, what is interesting right now, what is not interesting, what fits to the things I want to promote on this channel and what does not. And yeah, okay. So far, for the second episode of NEWROPE Broadcast, nothing much has happened. But small improvements every time. I liked this thing that I could talk a lot. And suddenly so bright in my room. Well, guys, if you're watching, thank you very much. It was a nice stream. Although it was a small stream and a short stream. I certainly this certainly was a very good opportunity for me to sort some ideas in my head. And so while it probably wasn't very successful in the streaming kind of sense, where you have a lot of viewers and stuff like this, it was very successful in a way of just me being here and talking, you know? It was an idea of mine, stream as a sort of personal diary, with me then uploading the VODs on my YouTube channel and then having stuff on this. Yeah, okay. I got some new ideas. I hoped when you were here that you liked it. Bye bye. See you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.